Hey everybody, it's Mr. Raise the Screen Roamer here, bringing you English Language Arts, okay, Module 6, Lesson 3. Okay, today we are going to Hutcherson, Kansas, and we're going to be looking at a mine, an underground mine. Here you can see our character. He's in a mine. Please never go in a cave on your own. Very dangerous. Okay, you might see some things like this, and down here. These, I remember they're called stalactites, because they have to hold on tight to the ceiling, okay? And the ones down here are called stalagmites because you might trip over them. So stalactite, stalagmite. All right, let's take a look at what our objectives are for this lesson. Okay, we're going to learn about word relationships to understand their meaning, okay? So we'll go over that on our second slide. Very easy. You have to look at it how it's used in the sentence. Okay, the next one is to identify how authors use evidence to support a point in the text, reasons and evidence. Okay, we've been doing that all year long in your writing. Okay, third one, read a text with rate and expression. They're talking about fluency, and they'll give you some opportunities to go ahead and record your voice and just listen to how you're reading. Okay, and then the last one we're going to go over are something called possessive pronouns. Okay, let's take a look at our first slide here. Okay, we're looking at homographs. Now this Greek-Latin root right here, homo means same, like homogeneous or homogeneous, it means same, okay? So if you take a look right here, we can notice that this place, Strataka, is a salt mine. Okay, we got the word mine right there, and you know in this context that it's a place that you would go and get resources. But I could also say, hey, this cup is mine, right? Very different. Okay, a mine where you get resources, and this cup is mine. So we've got one that is a noun and one that is a possessive pronoun. Okay, very, very different. So we've got a nice little graph right here, chart with something called homographs. Okay, and some of the words are said the same. Okay, they're all spelled the same, they're partners. But then some of the words are said differently. Check this out. Bat and bat. Same spelling, same sound. Different meaning. Spring and spring. Same thing. But now right here we've got bow, to bend down like that. And this one's bow. And bass and bass. Now it'd be really funny if you said, hey, I play a bass, and you have a fish. Okay, that wouldn't make any sense. So you have to look at how it's used in context. Dove and dove, wave and wave, tear and tear, fall and fall. Okay, very different meanings. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a look at some of the next slides. They're going to give you some of your tools to go ahead and go over that. Okay, we've got some practice right here. And then I also included some practice right here. Okay, this is just a little excerpt from what I included in the backpack. So choose the correct meaning for the homograph in bold in each sentence. Okay, Joshua says that he can go to the field trip next week. So does it mean to have permission or to preserve in a sealed container? Okay, so like, you know, I've got my soda can right here. Actually, this is sparkling water. Okay, so are we talking about a can like this, or he has permission to do something? Okay, and obviously it's the permission to do something. Okay, we had to back the car into the driveway so we could unload the trunk. Okay, so is it the rear part of the human body, like, hey, watch my back, right? Or is it the cause to move backwards? Okay, obviously it's this one right here. So you have to look at the context, okay, to figure out the meaning of the actual word. Okay, that's what you're going to be looking at throughout this lesson. I do have this worksheet. It's longer in the backpack, and I'd advise you to go ahead and complete it. Okay, let's go ahead to the next slide, and we're looking at prove it. Okay, now this is kind of strange that they put this in here, is we're looking at this thing right here, and this is a salt crystal. You probably already guessed that. And it says right here, the tour guide at the museum said that salt here formed approximately 275 million years ago when the Permian Sea dried up. The guide also said that salt is the purest at 650 feet underground. It is being mined today. And these are some interesting facts. Okay, so they gave some facts right there. Here's another fact. Okay, that salt is soluble. Soluble means capable of being dissolved, especially in water. That means that salt can be dissolved in water. Really? Is that a fact? I'm not so sure. You got to prove it, buddy. Okay, so you might not believe it. Okay, so what they're doing here is they have a little lab for you, and you can go ahead and here's some materials, some procedures, the observation, and then whatever the results were. Okay, so in that case, you can go ahead and check the facts just to make sure. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking at throughout this lesson, is looking at facts. When somebody says something, do you have information to back it up? Okay, one thing that we've been doing, and you guys have been very, very good at this, is using the Power Paragraph Planner right here. Okay, so up here, if you give your fact or opinion, okay, so, excuse me, if you give your opinion up here, okay, and you use, we've been using the hook and the bridge, and then your statement right here, and then you've been giving a reason, and then details to support your opinion, right? And same thing here, a reason. So if you give an opinion, you're going to have to give some facts to back it up. Okay, you can't just state an opinion and say, well, that's the way it is. Well, prove it. Okay, and this is what we're going to be looking for in the writing. Okay, let's take a look right here. So some things that they want is they're going to make a point. Okay, so they're fact. They're going to have reasons and then evidence to support it. Okay, so you would talk about why and what and when. Okay, so here's a little video you can take a look at, and she'll go more about that. And then right here, we get into some text. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to show you this first one. We're going to work through part of the next slide together, and then you can practice this skill on your own. I would advise you to go ahead and get out your print copy and get some colored pencils. Like I've got a whole bunch of pencils right here, and I've got some different colored ones. You might want to get the colors from our chart, like a red, green, and yellow. That would be very helpful. Okay, so right here they want us to take a look at this and look and see what is the author saying, what is their fact that they're stating, okay, and what are the reasons and details to support their opinion or their fact. Okay, what they're saying is a fact. They have to prove it. Okay, so what I did with that one right down here is I copied that here, and I kind of broke it down for you. This is the exact same text that was on that page. And let's take a look at this. We're talking about prairie grass, okay, and weeding conditions. In this case, talking about pulling weeds, okay. The good thing about prairie grass is that come rain or shine, it generally grows by itself, okay. So they're not stating, they're kind of stating a little bit of fact there, but this is more the hook, okay. Oh, wow, it does grow by itself. I wonder why. Okay, so now let's look here. When planting prairie grass, it is important to completely clear the area of weeds. Why? Okay, so when they give a fact like that, you should say why, and then they should be able to give you some reasons and details to support it. So if somebody gives you a fact, just don't go, I believe that. Oh. Okay, go, why? Can you prove it? Okay. Okay, here's one thing. If it does not happen, okay, the weeds may consume all the nutrients needed by the grass. Oh, so they're saying if it doesn't happen, this is what's going to happen to it. Okay, this means the grass will not grow. Really? I didn't know that. That's a pretty good reason. Okay, what's another reason? In order to get the best results, so in order to get it to grow, well, what about it? Weeding needs to be done before the seeds or plants are put in the ground. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so now they said you have to completely clear it. Okay, if it doesn't happen, the weeds are going to go ahead and take all the nutrients and the grass won't grow. But if it does happen, okay, then the seeds are going to grow just fine. And then at the end here, they're restating, okay, you can see here, just like we do in our writing, therefore, the land needs to be weeded to grow the best prairie grass. Okay, so this is the exact same format as our power paragraph planner. Okay, we can just work it in reverse and break it down. I hope that wasn't too fast for you. Okay, so now, hey, I think I understand what he's talking about. Okay, so that's what they're going to be going over here. What is the author's point? What are the reasons? So why, you would have to say, hey, why? Okay, and then what evidence do you have to support it? And that's what we just did with our color coding. Okay, I'd appreciate it if you did use that process. I think it has worked for me. It's worked for my students in the past as well. Okay, and the next page right here, they're going to have you go ahead and read. Now there's quite a bit of an article here, okay? And what I want you to do is take a look at this, and there are several different slides here that go along with this. Okay, it is quite long. Okay, what I would like you to do is pick out 2, 3, maybe 4 sections, and I'd like you to break them down using that same technique that we just did. Okay, let's take a look at this first one back here. So we're talking about these cool underground salt mines. Looks pretty neat. Okay, in fact, my son and I and my family, we went in a mine here in Puerto Rico last weekend. Okay, it was a lot of fun in the Oaxaca National Forest here. And we took a bunch of flashlights, and we climbed down this rickety tower. Kind of looked like it was out of Indiana Jones. It was really cool. And then we walked back in a cave. But never go into a cave without an adult. Okay, it's very, very dangerous. And people have been lost. Okay, don't do that, please. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is read the entire article, but then pick out a section. I picked out this one right here. I got it right down here. Okay, what is a salt mine? And I just kind of wanted to walk through the process with you. Okay, so let's take a look at our heading right here. What is a salt mine? I wonder what it is. Okay, a salt mine is a mine from which halite, more commonly known as rock salt, is taken. Oh, okay. What about it? Okay, so here is kind of our fact. Okay, but now we're going to ask the questions why or what evidence do you have to prove this? Before the invention of the combustion engine, so gasoline engine, salt mining was one of the most dangerous and expensive forms of mining. Really? Can you prove that? What do you have for evidence? Now, here they're saying that it was dangerous and expensive. Okay, give us some reasons. Salt mining before the Industrial Revolution was often done by slaves or prisoners. Wow, I didn't know that. So now we've got our yellow right here. Right, I'm going to have to go line by line. Okay, so here we've got some things. Really, I didn't know that it was done by slaves or prisoners. That's terrible. What else do you know? Okay, they were not likely to object to the harsh environment. That's probably true because they were slaves and prisoners. So they really didn't have a choice, did they? So now he's given some facts to support that. Now, contact with the salt, both in the air and through physical contact, causes rapid dehydration, which is extremely dangerous. So what they're saying is you get the salt on your hands and you breathe it in, your body starts to lose moisture, which is very, very dangerous. So now, right here, if I take a look at this, and I was talking to this person, and they said to me, hey, did you know that before the engine was made, salt mining was very dangerous and expensive? I go, really? How do you know that? Well, back then, slaves and prisoners used to do it. Okay, really? I didn't know that. Why was it so dangerous? Well, it was dangerous because when you touch salt, okay, it causes dehydration, and that's bad for the body. It's extremely dangerous. Wow, thank you. I didn't know that. You have lots of reasons and details, well, several reasons and details to support your fact. Okay, so that's what I would like you to do, is break down a paragraph just like I did right there. Okay, let's take a look at the remainder of our slides. There are a number of ones on here. Okay, like I said, go ahead and get out your hard copy of this, your paper copy. and read the whole thing as well. Okay, now at the bottom down here, you can go ahead and take 1 or 2 paragraphs, and you can go ahead and record your voice and listen to how you read. Okay, you don't want to read like a robot because that would be very boring. All right, and you don't want to read too fast that nobody can understand you. Okay, so find that good pace and read with expression. All right, enough said on that. Slide number 7 is just going to be a little review for you. So go ahead and read the entire article, and then they've got some good questions for you. Okay, and then this last section right here is getting into the possessive pronouns. All right, like I said, this cup is mine. All right, so you know it's Mr. Romer's, but mine takes the place of my name. So the pronoun are like these. Here's pronouns: I, you, he, she. So that takes the place of somebody's name. Now, if you're the receiver of something, then it would be me. I'll give you an example of that. So I have a cup. Okay, my friend gave it to me. I'm receiving, I'm the pronoun, the object pronoun. This cup is mine. Okay, now this is possessive pronoun. Okay, I'm going to keep it for myself. Okay, so that's kind of weird. So you can take a pronoun and it can be changed into the object pronoun if you're receiving the action. This, he gave it to me, I received it. This is now mine, I possess this. Okay, reflexive, I'm going to keep it for myself. So you can go ahead and take a look at these on how they're used, and you can make up sentences as you go through here. Okay, I also included on your backpack some of these like this. Okay, so here's some practice for you, and you can use these, and you have to select the best one to complete the sentence. So look at this. What I would do is go like this, like my brother planted a beautiful apricot tree in our front yard. That sounded correct. So it would be my and our. Okay, so let me read it the other way. Mine brother. No. Okay, in ours front yard. No. Okay, you guys think this one through. Okay, Annalisa finished her or hers homework. Think about it. Okay, her homework early, but Julissa did not do her or hers until later. Think about it. Hers. Okay, so we have possessive pronouns taking the place of the person's name. So this one is referring back to Julissa, and this one is referring back to Annalisa. Okay, so possessive pronouns. Check them out. Please do the worksheet that I provided as well. Okay, and that is it. Okay, so today we went ahead and we looked at possessive pronouns, reasons, details, and facts, or facts, reasons, and details within context, and then homographs, words that sound the same. All right, guys. So until next time, do something good today, change the world, and raise that screen. All right, take care.